Alright guys, so first I want to tackle a misconception that I feel that many people talk about endurance. That endurance is only running. Now running is a large part of endurance, but I feel like muscular endurance is something that needs to be built up as well. You know, whether it's your core, being able to maintain a strong contracted core while you're doing calisthenic moves, or whether it's your chest, your arms, being able to have a sturdy output. Like if you're a boxer or even any sort of martial artist or a grappler, then you will know that you have to have a certain sort of, stamina in your muscles. Grappling stamina and I would say striking stamina are very different from my personal experience. And I feel like, many people don't talk about that. So I want to tackle the muscular aspect as well as the running aspect. All right, guys, so first let's talk about, how I built my running cardio, my running type of stamina. Now this goes back to young me, young Colin. I was a soccer player. I played soccer for most of my life, and I was always actually extremely skinny, but I was super explosive for my time. But what I learned is, as playing midfielder, you're running all these miles, you're doing explosive movements, and the more explosive movements you make, the less viable it is to continue to hold the long distance jogs, to hold that pace. So for me, one summer, I specifically set out to increase my stamina as a goal, and being able to, put those short bursts in between as well as keep going. So for me, here's how I did it. My first week of it, and I say this is pretty reasonable for a beginner as well, just maybe take it on a smaller scale. But my first week of it, I ran 1 mile, and I would do 40 seconds jogging, 10 minutes explosive sprint, explosive going, and I would just interval it like that until I reached a mile. Now by the end of this, you will be extremely gassed, and I would recommend that if you're a complete beginner, maybe just jog for 1 minute, then do 5 seconds explosive running, then jog for a minute, do it like that until you reach a mile. Now this is my favorite method, and over time as I got better, I added on 1.5 miles. So like once I see like 3 weeks of me making improvement, I'm like, okay, let me add 1.5 miles with the same method. Then I add, after 3 more weeks, I add 2 miles, up to the point where I was able to run 5 miles consistently. Now I don't think I could run that much now especially, but I know I can still do that for at least 1 mile or 2 while containing a consistent pace. And that's what I recommend you guys to do. And make sure you're hydrated. I don't want anyone doing this to fall out. Now let's talk about muscular endurance. Now muscular endurance is something that I take very seriously for me personally. Well, first I started off with my calisthenics. Muscular endurance is going to be one of the bigger parts of calisthenics, right? So for me, my big goal at one point was to reach 100 push-ups. So after my regular chest workout, whatever I was working on, I would end off every workout with 100 push-ups. And now I still do that to this day. I work out in the gym now, and I want to record some workouts there too, but calisthenics is always my first home. So personally for me, I still take my workout seriously, and then at the end of the workout, now I do planche push-ups, planche lean push-ups, because regular push-ups are too easy for me. But when building regular endurance for push-ups, I suggest that you try to, the goal should be 100, right? So if you're still a beginner, break up as many sets as you want to reach 100. So for me personally, I did two sets of 50, or even came to a point where I did 3 sets of 33. Now do what you need to do, and that is like one of the best ways to do it. It takes time, it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna be painful, but you gotta embrace that really if you wanna build up that muscular endurance, as well as see some chest gains in the beginning. My first newbie gains in my chest was from constantly doing push-ups. And then when we're going to your back, for me personally, I just realized like last year that doing the rowing machine or anything like that is probably the best form of building your back. It's a full body workout as well, but rowing machines are up there in my opinion, or even just rowing in an open lake if you're balling like that. But one way I also like to do it is if you get a lower pull-up bar. It's not like a regular pull-up bar. I demonstrated to you guys. I put a video over this of me doing that. But you're on the ground, you're leaning, and you're pulling up like that. And you can do that for a mini set, for many sets, So my goal for each of those first basics was to reach 100. So I did that. With pull-ups, it's not very great for building endurance because many people just can't do a ton of pull-ups. Now me, I worked myself up to where I could do like 28 or 30, but it takes time to get to that point. So for a beginner, I would recommend you doing low bar, or they call it Australian pull-ups as well. But I would recommend that heavily, and do it the same way that you do your push-ups so you don't have any imbalances, right? And then for your core, this is the most important aspect. I would say do planks for a minute. My recording cut out, that's why, to change the scenery. But as I was saying, core is an important aspect, and I would suggest 1 minute of planking, 1 minute of side planks on each side, and then a hollow body hold to fail. And if this is too easy or too hard, then you can adjust the times to like 30 seconds, or even make it up to 2 minutes, or whatever you're feeling. And I'm telling you, this will help for anyone, beginner or advanced. It's always good to make sure that your core is on point. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like down below if you did, and comment what you guys want to see next. Now, I'm gonna post a full video of me, doing a complete muscular endurance exercise on my chest, and then maybe another day I do my back. But it's a lot of aspects of fitness that I want to try to educate you guys on, and even you guys can educate me. I don't know everything, so we can all learn from each other. And that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.